Hey guys, David Vos here. I'm gonna take a short walk, and it's really pretty out. This is the little trail I got on the backside of my property. When I come back, I'm gonna show you guys a trail down to where I'm gonna put the garden in. I'm putting the garden in, but I think I'll just go back here for a minute. Look at the back 40. You choking again? You need to stop smoking there, buddy. Yeah, you stop smoking. You're choking too much. I noticed the other day, I haven't heard noises like in prior years. I don't hear the kadidas or kadids or whatever they're called. You don't hear too many frogs. Boy, you guys are just... Mom just had enough and just took her, I guess. Mom can still take the babies. And they're about twice as big as she is. They have kind of respect for each other, these dogs. But you know what I noticed is that one, I believe that's the oldest puppy from a different litter, and she's a couple years old. Well, she has no more respect for her mom. She's starting to act real nasty to her mom. She'll growl and stuff, and they didn't used to do that, but they have a lot of respect for their mothers even after they're grown and older, until at some point, I guess. I don't know. But I noticed she's kind of... the pecking order has changed, and the biggest female, Bonnie, she's the oldest of the puppies from a different litter, and she's the boss now. So Mom's still the boss when she has to be, though, I guess, when she gets all, she's had enough or something. But you know, dogs have a lot more respect for their family members than humans do in a lot of ways. I don't know what all this is. I'm going to look into this. But it just looks like something good. Like, I think it's some kind of herb that I can eat. Here's grapes. There's grapes just growing out through the forest, you know, all over the place. There's some grapes. Rocks sticking up out of the ground. Oh, the mushrooms were thick. I found out it's really hard to determine what mushrooms what kind of mushrooms what. But I've determined now there's a mushroom growing on my property all over the place. It is a hallucinogenic mushroom. I haven't tried it because I'm not really... it could be... Well, I don't know if it's hallucinogenic. It's in the Amanita family, which is they claim is toxic and poison. So, but I mean, I have a theory that they're toxin when you eat the whole thing. But perhaps the reason that they're considered toxin is because people eat the whole thing and not knowing what they're doing. And it may just be that you're supposed to only partake of very small amounts of those. I don't know. They're always in the fairy tale movies. There was Amanita or whatever they call them. But this is my trail. Yeah. Beautiful. Little bitty hickories growing. So pretty. Back in here, this little forest. Dogs love it when we go on walks. We go usually almost every day. beautiful forest. Back in there, there's a pond right back over there. It's a big pond. Right in the woods, because there's a creek that comes right down here. Ooh, buddy, isn't this pretty? It's hard to see deer. They're all over. There's a herd of deer in here. But it's hard to see them because the dogs go with me and they scare them away. Oops, I went off the trail here. It's up here. There's a little hickory growing right there. The hickories, you rarely find a real big hickory. They do, there's a few, but they're usually small. I don't know. The oaks, I guess, crowd them out. Some grapes. Boy, look at this. These flowers. Out here on the backside. It's not on my property, but it's only a little short distance away from my property line. So green because it rained so much this spring. And this is that road. It's all overgrown and green. Everything's blooming. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Literally. It's hot though and humid today. It's hot and humid. So I will film a little of this because it's so beautiful. Some yellow flowers. Oh, I was just noticing some. Oh man, see all those over there are, all that out through there is a bunch of hickory trees starting up. And there's these white flowers. And I was passing by a bunch of raspberries and strawberries and grapes. Oh man, the grapes are huge. Not the grapes, they're not ready yet, but see, these are hickory. But the big grape leaves this year are just so huge, and the vines have grown so long. And there's so many berries. There's berries that I don't know the names of them. Different kinds of berries out here. These, I showed you guys these before. Those are from last year, but you can still eat them. They last all winter. And they'll be coming on again with new ones this year. And they're ripe in the fall. They're sweet and sour. You can make jam and you can make wine out of it. I'm making a lot of wine. Oh my goodness, there's definitely more rain this year because it wasn't this much green last year. The grass wasn't this tall. You know, it wasn't this thick. This little pink flower. so pretty. Little daisies. I don't know if they're daisies, but they look like they're daisies. I don't think I've ever seen any place more beautiful than this area here in Oklahoma. I was just thinking about how we don't know the names of all the different plants, and I'm trying to learn a lot of them, as many as I can. Still not even scratching the surface. But I'm beginning to realize with what I already know that we've been really duped on this one too. Because in this particular kind of climate, which probably goes all around the world in this hemisphere, you know, in between the tropics or something. There's just, all the plants are more or less related. So what we find in the grocery market, a lot of what we find, like onions and potatoes and things like that, were things that they used for centuries. Now the potatoes now are more hybrid, and you go to the store and the bananas are different than they used to be. But they're still bananas, and you go into the wild, you can get wild bananas. So out here, in this climate, I believe there's a lot of wild things that you might call wild carrots, and I noticed there's a lot of these things that look like onions to me. There's a certain family that have the same bulbs and everything. I haven't eaten any, but I suspect that you could go out. You know, the Bible mentions leeks and onions. I think they could just grow wild all around the world. And you just have to know where they're at. And we don't know where they're at, so we go to the store and buy them. And I think if we were to just learn where they are in nature and get them, maybe just one by one, learn one thing at a time, so we can remember what they look like and where to get them in our area. Okay. This is the trail that I made to the garden. And I planted some things, but they're in buckets, and I'm not going to put them in the ground yet. I'm getting them started in buckets. But this will be the trail that goes to the garden. So here's some of those sweet and sour berries. Those are really good. That's where the garden's going to be. See these raspberries? That's just a little one. Good. But I like this spot because there's a lot of sunshine. Look at these grapes. We're gonna have a lot of grapes. Already got a trellis. And so this will be a little garden here. There's quite a few more grapes that I'm gonna clear out some of the brush around them because they just grow wild. So this will be where I'm gonna grow the weeds, if you know what I mean. There's another big grapevine over there, and down over there. Grapes. So We'll have plenty of grapes just right in this little area, but they're everywhere. See the grapes? They'll be ripe in a month or so. Oh, those are going to be good. Make some wine. I love these oak trees. I love all the trees around here. They're just so, the way the branches are so gnarly. Wow. Look at this field. Look at all those white flowers. The whole field is just white. All the way across. It's just beautiful. Unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen a field with little white flowers like that. It's like little clouds floating over the grass. Just beautiful.